The final's done, all that is left now is the numbers. Rodri won tournament MVP with 0 goals. Mbappé finished as the all-time World Cup top scorer, without ever lifting the trophy. And 41-year-old Ronaldo became the first player ever to score at 6 different World Cups, before walking off the stage for the last time. Messi, 8 goals, and only the silver ball to show for it. Today we are breaking down the 4 awards, and every single record rewritten as of the completed final, player by player. First, 60 seconds of context. This was the first ever 48-team World Cup, 104 matches, 16 host cities, 3 host nations, the United States, Canada, and Mexico, the biggest edition in history. Spain won the final 1-0, their second world title, 16 years after 2010. Now, just the trophies and the numbers. Part 1, the 4 individual awards. Start with the Golden Ball, the tournament MVP. It went to Rodri, who did not score a single goal. He won it by controlling games through passing and possession rather than goals, capping a comeback from a serious knee ligament injury. He is now just the 11th man to win the World Cup, the Champions League, and the Ballon d'Or. And the debate erupted the instant it was announced. A goalless midfielder over 8-goal Messi? Or is the modern MVP about control, not goals? The Golden Boot went to Kylian Mbappé with 10 goals. He became the first player ever to win the Golden Boot twice, in 2022 and 2026. He sealed it the day before the final, scoring twice in the third-place match, which France lost 6-4 to England, to pass Messi at the death. The Golden Glove went to Unai Simon, 7 clean sheets, the most in a single tournament, conceding just 1 goal in 8 games. And Best Young Player went to Pau Cubarsí, edging out his 19-year-old teammate, Lamine Yamal. So Spain swept the title plus 3 individual awards, leaving Messi with only the silver ball. Part 2, the star players and their World Cup records, in final edition. Start with Lionel Messi, 21 career goals, 8 this tournament. He set the record for most career World Cup assists, 12, passing Pélé's 10. He became the oldest player to score a World Cup hat-trick, the opener against Algeria, at 38, just before his 39th birthday, overtaking Ronaldo. He holds the records for most World Cup appearances and most minutes played, and led the 2026 tournament in chances created, with 24. He won 16 Career Player of the Match awards, an all-time record, 5 of them in 2026 alone, which is a single-edition record, and he became the first player ever to start 3 World Cup finals. But here is what he lost. The all-time top scorer crown, which he held for the entire tournament, slipped away at the death to Mbappé. Messi finished second all-time, on 21. Which brings us to Kylian Mbappé, 22 career goals, 10 this tournament, the new all-time World Cup top scorer, passing Messi on 21, and Klose on 16. His 22 goals came in just 22 matches. His 10 goals in one edition tie Gerd Müller for the third most ever, behind Fontaine's 13, and Kosas's 11. He also became France's most capped World Cup player, overtaking Hugo Lloris, and he is now France's all-time top scorer too. Now Cristiano Ronaldo, 11 career goals, 3 this tournament, in what was his last World Cup. And he made history, the first and only player ever to score at 6 different World Cups, against Uzbekistan in the group stage. His 6 World Cup appearances are an all-time record, shared with Messi, and he is now Portugal's all-time World Cup top scorer, on 11 goals, passing Eusebio's 9. He became the oldest player to score in a World Cup knockout match, 41, a penalty against Croatia in the round of 32. The oldest World Cup scorer overall is still Roger Milla, back in 94. He is one of only 3 players to be both the youngest and the oldest World Cup scorer for their country, alongside Laudrup and Messi. 20 years separate his first World Cup goal, against Iran in 2006, and his last, against Croatia in 2026, and he keeps extending the men's all-time international scoring record, now on 146. But there was no trophy. Eliminated by Spain 1-0 in the round of 16, he ends his final World Cup without ever having won it. Now the other stars. Erling Haaland scored 7 goals, and became Norway's all-time World Cup top scorer, on his tournament debut. His 7 goals came from 18 shots, a 39% conversion rate, the best in a single World Cup, for anyone with 15 or more shots, since Lineker in '86. Norway exited in the quarter-finals. Harry Kane scored 6 this tournament, reaching 14 career World Cup goals, the most by any England player, passing Lineker's 10. Jude Bellingham scored 7, and his 2 goals at the Azteca in a single match were the first there by any player since Maradona, in 1986. Lamine Yamal became the third youngest player ever to appear in a World Cup final, behind only Pelé in '58 and Bergomi in '82, and he finished second in the tournament for chances created, with 22. And a first, for the first time in World Cup history, 3 players, Messi, Mbappé and Holland, each scored 7 or more goals in a single edition. Part 3, Spain, and their manager. This was the fewest goals conceded by any World Cup champion in history. 1 goal, in 8 matches. Early on, they became the first team ever to go 6 World Cup games without conceding, and they finished with 7 clean sheets. They were unbeaten champions, extending a European record unbeaten run to 38 matches. And a remarkable one for Unai Simon, 650 consecutive minutes without conceding across the 2022 and 2026 tournaments. A World Cup record, past Walter Zenga's 517 from 1990. The streak ended when Belgium's de Ketelaere scored in the quarter-final. And Luis de la Fuente became the oldest manager ever to win a World Cup, with a record as Spain boss of 14 wins and 1 draw. Part 4, the tournament-wide records. The largest ever, the first 48-team World Cup, 104 matches, 16 cities, and the first tournament co-hosted by 3 nations. The most goals in a single edition, reportedly around 308, smashing the 172 from 2022. The final official count is still to be confirmed. An attendance record too, roughly 6.8 million, nearly double 1994's 3.5 million, at 99.7% occupancy. Curaçao became the smallest nation ever to compete at a World Cup, and the smallest ever to score. England beat France 6-4 in the third-place match, a scoreline never seen before at a World Cup. A true scorigami. England took third, France fourth. And, for the first time ever, there was a half-time show at a World Cup final. Part 5, Argentina, and their bitter records. First, the defending champion curse. The last 4 defending champions to reach a final all finished runners-up. Argentina in '90, Brazil in '98, France in 2022, and now Argentina in 2026. Argentina have now finished runners-up in 3 of their last 4 final appearances. Their team record 13-game World Cup unbeaten run ended. It was their first World Cup defeat since the 2022 opener, against Saudi Arabia. They are the only team to register 0 shots on target in a World Cup final over the last 60 years, and they have now done it 3 times, 90, 2014, and 2026. Enzo Fernandez became the 6th player ever sent off in a World Cup final, and the first since Heitinger in 2010. And on the flip side, Emiliano Martinez made 11 saves, the most in a World Cup final in 60 years, an ironic record for the losing side. So, a goalless MVP, a top scorer with no trophy, and a GOAT contender who left without the one prize he wanted. This World Cup showed just how far apart individual records and team glory can drift. So what is your take? Do you accept Rodri's golden ball? Can anyone catch Mbappé's 22 career goals? And Ronaldo scoring at 6 different World Cups? Will that ever be matched? Let me know in the comments. Next up, the 2030 World Cup in Spain, Portugal and Morocco, and the talk of expanding to 64 teams. Hit subscribe and the notification bell.